Okay, good morning, 7th class. How are you? I think you all are fine. Okay, बच्चे हम कर रहे थे चैप्टर नंबर, आप बताइए, ये सोचिए, चैप्टर नंबर 12 रिप्रोडक्शन इन प्लांट्स बच्चे. ओके बच्चा, रिप्रोडक्शन इन प्लांट्स को आज हम डीजी क्लास में देखेंगे. लेट्स सी केयरफुली एंड लेसन इट. ओके बेटा, asexual reproduction in plants बेटा. Asexual reproduction in plants.
Observe the two containers. In container A, we will be planting some carrot seeds. And in container B, we are going to put carrot tops. Which of the two containers will have carrot plants?
एक में बेटा सीड्स डाले हैं, एक में टॉप्स काट के डाल दिए. कौन से में प्लांट लगेगा देखिए.
Both will have plants. Are you wondering how this is possible? Although plants are commonly grown using seeds, some plants can be grown without seeds as well. A seed is formed after sexual reproduction in plants. Sexual reproduction requires the fusion of specialized male and female cells called the gametes. These are produced in the flower. But some plants can reproduce without seeds. In this case, the new plant is produced by a single parent plant. The form of reproduction in which a new plant is produced by a single parent without using seeds is called asexual reproduction. The main advantages of asexual reproduction are that the plants produced by this method have identical characteristics to those of the parent plant, and it is a faster mode of reproduction. Let's learn what the common methods of asexual reproduction in plants are. Have you ever wondered how bakers make fluffy breads and cakes? Which microorganism helps in baking? Bakers add a helpful microbe to ferment the dough. This microbe is yeast. Yeast is a single-celled fungus. Like all plant cells, yeast has a cell wall. This means that in the division of all organisms into plants and animals, yeast is classified as a plant. Yeast reproduces asexually by a method known as budding. Buds are tiny projections or bulges that appear on the surface of the yeast cell. Inside the cell, the nucleus divides into two. Of these, one is passed on to the developing bud. The buds grow in size and become detached from the parent cells to form an independent organism. This method of asexual reproduction is called budding. Sometimes the bud may not detach immediately and may remain attached to the parent cell. Chains of such buds can be seen on a single yeast cell. During rainy season, the surfaces of ponds and lakes get covered with a green layer. What is this green layer?
बेटा, बर्डिंग का आपको पता चला क्या होता है। एक बर्ड में से जब उसमें से प्रोजेक्शन निकलना शुरू हो जाता है तो वो न्यूक्लियस डिवाइड हो जाता है टू पार्ट्स में, तो ये एसेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन है, बर्डिंग। फिर है फर्मेंटेशन। देखो बेटा, वाटर के ऊपर जो पानी के ऊपर ग्रीन ग्रीन लेयर आनी शुरू हो जाती है तो उसको हम बोलते हैं फर्मेंटेशन। लेट्स सी बेटा।
This is Spirogyra, commonly called the pond silk. It is a type of alga. Have you ever wondered how they grow so fast? In favorable conditions, this common ribbon-shaped Spirogyra filament breaks into two or more fragments. Each of these fragments develops into a new individual. In this way, the algae multiply very fast and cover the surface of water in a short period of time. Many eatables can get spoiled if they are kept in moist and warm conditions for long. What is this white, cottony growth on the bread?
ओके बेटा, जब कोई खाने वाली चीज है, स्पोर फॉर्मेशन, पता ये है आपका स्पोर फॉर्मेशन। तो खाने वाली चीज पे जब ये वाइट वाइट आ जाता है, ये किस तरीके से डेवलप होता है, ग्रो करता चला जाता है। लेट्स सी बेटा।
This is bread mold, a fungus. If you observe it under a microscope, you can see sac-like structures. These are the sporangia. At maturity, the sporangium bursts open and releases spores. The spores are light and spread easily through air. Under favorable conditions, these spores germinate to produce new fungal bodies. Apart from fungi, plants such as ferns and mosses also reproduce asexually through spores. In a plant body, flowers are the reproductive parts, whereas parts such as root, stems, and leaves are the vegetative parts. When new plants arise from vegetative parts, this is called vegetative propagation. Plants such as potato and ginger propagate through their underground stems. The sweet potato and the dahlia propagate through their roots, and bryophyllum propagates through its leaves. Find out how these plants are propagated. Banana, cactus, tulip, rose.
ओके बेटा, पार्ट्स ऑफ प्लांट होते हैं जैसे रूट, लीव्स, स्टेम्स। तो ये इन पार्ट से भी नया प्लांट निकलता है। उन पार्ट्स को हम वेजिटेटिव प्रोपोगेशन बोलते हैं बेटा। तो ये बनाना है, कस्कटस है, ट्यूलिप है, रोज है, ये किस तरीके से ग्रो होते हैं। लेट्स सी। ओके बच्चा, लेट्स सी। बनाना अंडरग्राउंड स्टेम, कस्कटर रॉयल स्टेम और शॉर्ट स्टेम बेटा। ओके बच्चा, एसेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन किसके थ्रू कैसे होती है। एसेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन के पार्ट्स हैं बर्डिंग, ओके बच्चा, बर्डिंग, फर्मेंटेशन, स्पोर फॉर्मेशंस और लेट्स सी, ये सारे पार्ट्स हमारे किसके थे? एसेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन इन प्लांट्स बच्चे। अब सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन इन प्लांट्स।
Flowers have different shapes, sizes, and colors. But if you look closely inside any flower, you will find similar reproductive structure. Sexual reproduction in plants is the production of offspring by the fusion of male and female gametes. Most plants can reproduce sexually. This is a hermaphrodite flower. It has both male and female reproductive parts. The male reproductive parts of the flower are called stamens. Each stamen consists of an anther and a filament. The anther contains pollen sacs in which pollen or male gametes are formed. The female reproductive parts of the flower are called carpels. Each carpel consists of a stigma, style, and ovary. The ovary contains one or more ovules where female gametes are formed.
ओके बेटा, मेल और फीमेल गैमेट जब फ्यूज हो जाते हैं प्लांट्स में तो वो क्या हो जाता है? सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन होती है प्लांट्स में बेटा। प्लांट्स के अंदर मेल और फीमेल भी दोनों भी पाए जाते हैं तो उसको हर्माफ्रोडाइट्स बोला जाता है बेटा। ओके, लेट्स सी, स्टिग्मा एंड स्टाइल, ये आपके क्या हैं? पार्ट्स हैं फ्लावर के। ओके बेटा, लेट्स सी, pollination.
The transfer of pollen grains from an anther to a stigma is called pollination. Plants can self-pollinate by transferring pollen to the stigma of the same flower or to a flower in the same plant. Cross-pollination is the transfer of pollen from the anther of one plant to the stigma of another.
जब बेटा पोलन ट्रांसफर होते हैं सेम फ्लावर पे तो सेल्फ पॉलिनेशन कहा जाता है, और वो जब डिफरेंट फ्लावर पे ट्रांसफर होते हैं तो पोलन ग्रेन्स तो क्या कहला जाता है? क्रॉस पॉलिनेशन बोला जाता है। ओके बेटा,
So, how does pollination occur? Since plants cannot move, it is difficult for male gametes to reach female gametes. One way this can happen is with the help of insects. Some flowers are large, brightly colored, and secrete strong smells to attract insects. When the insect visits the flower for nectar, the pollen from the anther is rubbed on its body. When that insect visits another flower, the pollen are shed on the stigma of that flower, which gets pollinated. Bees, wasps, butterflies, and other insects help in pollination.
पॉलिनेशन में क्या चीज हेल्प करती है? बर्ड्स है बेटा, या इंसेक्ट्स हैं जो पॉलिनेशन में हेल्प करते हैं। इसके अलावा एयर और वाटर भी पॉलिनेशन में हेल्प करते हैं बच्चे।
Wind can also enable pollination. Plants have to produce an enormous quantity of pollen for wind pollination to be effective. In this case, plants don't need to produce nectar or strong scents. This type of pollination is found in carny ferns, grasses, and cap trees such as oak. During pollination, pollen grains are carried from anther to stigma. Now, the male gamete has to find its way to the female gamete. The stigma makes a liquid containing sugar. If the stigma belongs to the same species of flower, the pollen grain responds to this liquid by growing a tube. The tube grows out of the pollen grain's region, ovule. The male gamete leaves the pollen grain and makes its way along the tube. When it reaches the ovule, it goes inside and fuses with the male gamete. The fusion of male and female gametes is called fertilization. The fertilized ovule is known as the zygote. Immediately after fertilization, the process of seed formation starts. The flower sheds its petals, sepals, and stamen. In some cases, even the style and the stigma are lost, and only the ovary containing zygotes remain. The zygote will divide to form a multicellular embryo with plumule, which will become the first shoot. The radicle will become the first root, and one or two cotyledons will become the seed leaves. The ovule containing embryo is called the seed. As the zygote develops into a seed, the ovary and sometimes other floral parts develop into a fruit. Fruits like peach, plum, and almond, which have one seed, have been derived from a single ovary. These are called simple fruits. Fruits like pineapple and strawberry have developed from multiple ovaries. These are compound fruits.
Which of the following is a fruit and why? टमाटो और पोटैटो, इसमें से कौन सा फ्रूट है और ये फ्रूट क्यों है बच्चे? ओके, टमाटो और पोटैटो फ्रूट बताए हैं, इसमें से कौन सा फ्रूट है टमाटो और पोटैटो? लेट्स सी.
Seeds germinate once they have adequate water, warmth, and oxygen. Water activates the seed's respiratory and digestive organs. The soluble products of digestion are diffused to the growth region of the embryo, that is the radicle and the plumule. The first visible sign of germination is the emergence of an embryonic root from the radicle. It is positively geotropic, which means that it grows downwards and anchors the seed. The roots absorb water and minerals from the soil. Next, the embryonic shoot emerges from the plumule. The shoot is negatively geotropic and grows upwards. As the shoot is exposed to light, it becomes green and photosynthesis begins. The plant is now able to synthesize its own food. As an adult plant, it is also capable of reproduction.
ओके बेटा, फ्लावर जो है स्टेमन कार्पेल पाया जाता है एनिमल वाटर और एनिमल्स वाटर और विंड के थ्रू उसके पोलन ग्रेन ट्रांसफर्स होते हैं, फिर वो पॉलिनाइजेशन कहा जाता है. और वो जब फ्लावर अंतर में जाता है तो मेल और फीमेल गैमेट्स आपस में मिलते हैं तो उस फ्यूज हो जाते हैं. उस प्रोसेस को फर्टिलाइजेशन कहा जाता है. आफ्टर फर्टिलाइजेशन सीड इज फॉर्म्ड बेटा, उसके बाद सीड जर्मिनेट होता है और न्यू प्लांट डेवलप होता है। ओके बेटा, ये सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन इन प्लांट्स थी। I hope you all understand this chapter clearly. ओके बेटा, आज हमारा इसी के साथ ये चैप्टर फिनिश होता है। ओके बच्चे, बाय ऑल ऑफ यू। ओके बच्चा, सो आई होप यू ऑल अंडरस्टैंड। ओके बच्चा, बाय।